Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. I think it is very odd that the SNP has not yet suspended Peter Murrell's membership of the party. He's still a full party member, can still participate in all the things the party does, still has full voting rights. And yet, with this investigation going on, with the potential charges that will undoubtedly further damage the party, as well as it's currently sort of guilty by association. It's sort of being tainted simply by the proximity of the man. Even Humza Yousaf, you would have thought, stupid as he is, would have realised that he needs to pull the party away from Murrell, suspend him, even if only temporarily, just to dissociate themselves, just to put a bit of clear blue distance between him and Murrell. It's very hard for him, of course, because he has worked so hand in glove with the Murrells, being their protege, being their chosen candidate and all that. He will be finding it very difficult to remove the stench of Sturgeon and Murrell off himself. But he can at least get them further away from the party. But that hasn't been done. And it's, you have to ask why. Why do they seem to want to stick with this man? It looks like they're going to be paying for his legal defence, despite so many problems that may cause. See my previous video. They refuse to sort of part the ways with him. They refuse to hand him off or distance themselves. And it's very, very odd. But we'll have a look at this article, find out why, find out what's going on, and see some of the details as to what... They seem to be totally enamoured with him. A man that could ultimately bring down the SNP in totality. It could be seriously taken to a point where the entire party collapses and ceases to be, and yet still they're standing by him, they're supporting him, and they're allowing him to maintain full membership. It seems very odd. Anyway, we'll have a look at this article. Here goes. So the SNP refuses to suspend Peter Murrell after his arrest. Scottish Tory chairman criticises the party's addiction to secrecy, as insiders say it is up to the former chief executive to step away. So what they're saying is they want him to resign rather than them to fire him, because I don't know, what do they feel? I don't know, some kind of personal loyalty to him, or do they just feel embarrassed about firing someone who has yet to be found guilty? But even if he's innocent, there should be at least a temporary suspension until such time as he's either found guilty or released without charge because there's lack of evidence or something. But you can't keep someone like this close to you and not have that the dirt or the perceived dirt, the dirt perceived by the public will taint the party. And until you can get it away, get him away from the party, what can you do? Anyway, the SNP has refused to suspend Peter Murrell's membership after his arrest, with party insiders stating it's up to him whether to step away. Mr Murrell, the party's former chief executive and Nicola Sturgeon's husband, was arrested last Wednesday by police examining the SNP's finances. At around the same time, officers started a 2-day search of their home. They seized a luxury camper van from outside his 92-year-old mother's home in Dunfermline. He was released without charge after more than 11 hours of questioning, just short of the 12-hour maximum, pending further investigation. And I suspect there will be a lot further investigation. They will not know what's hit them. And other things that have come up, and other revelations. I think she, standing there, I think Nicola is as involved as he is. And I'm very surprised that the police haven't dragged her in and questioned her under caution as well. But SNP sources pointed out that he was not charged and he is an ordinary member after resigning as chief executive last month over inaccurate denials given to the media about a slump in party membership. Call it what it is. They're not inaccurate denials. They're lies. A party insider said any decision to step away from membership during the investigation would be for him. No. The party hierarchy, the leadership of the party, need to suspend him. It's what you would do if you had a spine. If anyone in that party had a pair of dangling balls, they would have suspended him on day one, the moment he was arrested. But they don't. They just don't have the balls to do it. Craig Hoy, the Scottish Tory chairman, said the SNP's addiction to secrecy and their lack of transparency is a huge factor in their current meltdown, and he is completely right. They do not want to reveal anything. They said, and yet they remain unwilling or unable to change their ways, both unwilling and totally unable, because they know they cannot be open and transparent because it will destroy them. The truth is so damaging to the SNP. Given that he is at the centre of a major police probe into the party's murky finances, and on top of having had to resign as chief executive for lying to SNP members and the media, you would have expected Peter Murrell's membership to have been suspended at least until the conclusion of the police investigation. The fact he lied and had to resign over his lies should have been enough at that point to suspend him. The SNP has insisted it is not paying Mr Murrell's legal fees, but questions have been raised over why it's hired a leading lawyer who is an expert in white-collar crime. The Telegraph disclosed last week that Stuart Monroe, who acted for the former News of the World editor Andy Coulson in his 2015 perjury trial, is currently representing the party. Since 2021, Police Scotland have been examining the SNP's handling of more than 600,000 in donations raised in 2017 for the second independence referendum. Supporters made complaints when the accounts lodged with Companies House in 2020 appeared to show the SNP only had 97,000 in the bank, despite the referendum having never been held. And 97,000 it sounds a lot, and it's a lot if it was in your pocket, but it is nothing to a party of this size. Any kind of business, even a small business, 97,000 is not a lot of money. You've got to take out salaries, overheads, running, heat, light, stationery, office rent, travel. You take them out. 97,000 does not go far. Mike Russell, the SNP's president and acting chief executive, said at the weekend that the party was facing its biggest crisis and he did not think independence could be achieved right now. Another thing that, and I did the video about this, was Nicola Sturgeon telling the NEC, now the NEC of all people, not just party members, the actual NEC, that they shouldn't look at the books and they were definitely not to ask questions of the books. So the books are obviously in a very bad way when even the NEC is being banned from looking at them. And, of course, it means that Sturgeon knows. And there has been audio evidence of this coming out. And Sturgeon undoubtedly knows. So if she's not guilty of actual criminology, she's certainly guilty after the fact, if it happened, because she will have known about this. And she did not ring any bells. She did not blow the whistle. She did not go to the police about any of this. So she is certainly guilty by association. Ian Blackford, the party's former Westminster leader, issued a call for unity and admit the party was going through a very challenging period. Mr Blackford, who was ousted in December, told the BBC Radio Scotland, political parties that are not united face, of course, electoral challenges. I think it is really up to us how we respond to that period that we have come through. You haven't come through it, mate. You're still going through it, and there's worse to come. There will be more coming out, and more senior people will be, implicated. Put it no stronger than that. But there will be a lot more revelations to come. The Ross Skye and Lochaber MP insisted that support for independence was still hovering around or close to about the 50% level. The man's a moron. I don't know what polls he's reading, or is he only listening to the opinions of his own family? However, he added, we need to demonstrate that we are worthy of the trust of the people, and it's about the Scottish Government delivering across all the devolved areas. Well, they haven't. They've had 15 years to deliver across all the devolved areas and have failed in all the devolved areas. You cannot point to one thing which the SNP have got complete control on and say it's good. Nothing. There is nothing. The NHS, terrible. Transport, terrible. The ferries, terrible. Roads, terrible. Pricing, booze pricing, very unpopular. They're bringing in gender laws, unpopular. They're bringing in the bottled return scheme, fraud in the making. Social commentary, the social care, terrible. Youth unemployment, terrible. The economy, terrible. Every single thing the SNP is responsible for is terrible. And he's sitting there, Tubby Blackford is sitting there going, oh, we need to take control of the things that we're allowed to take control of. Well, you have, and you failed. Just open your damn eyes and let me tell you that independence is nowhere near 50%, mate. Despite widespread doubts about Humza Yousaf's competence, there's no doubt at all about his competence. He hasn't got any. That is without doubt. Mr. Blackford said he believed the new First Minister would surprise people. The only way he would surprise people is if he did the decent thing and announced his resignation and called for a re-election to see that, to make it fair. Then the full 77 days of campaigning as per the specs in the party's manifesto, in the party's rule book, that was broken in order to get him in quickly. So he won't do that, of course. That would surprise people, but it won't happen because he hasn't got either the decency or the balls to do it. Blackford said, I think people are very satisfied that we have a process that has delivered a result and we have a leader we can get fully behind. Blackford, I don't know what you're smoking, my friend, but please God, let me have some. I would love to inhabit the world you inhabit. It must be so much fun living in a world of delusion where everything is wonderful, because it's not the world the rest of us live in. Anyway, I shall round off and shall come up. Now, the only thing I can think is that Peter Murrell has got the dirt on so many people. He must know who's done what, who's had what, where money has been given, or where certain activities have occurred, shall we say, and he's got evidence of that. It's the only thing that can keep this man out, I think. There is no other reason. There is no other reason why he has not been suspended. I think when it breaks, I think if he goes down, I think he will spill the beans. I think he will take many others with him. I don't think he will go quietly. I think he will make a deal and he will say that this happens, this happens, this happens, this person's done something. And it will cause absolute chaos. It will completely destroy everything. And I can't wait, because it is the only explanation. This is why the party hasn't got the ability to even suspend him, is because they dare not do anything that upsets him, because he has got so much dirt on so many people at the upper echelon of the party. And I would love to know, I would love for this to come out. I would love to see all these people destroyed by the truth. One day, maybe, but it is not today. But soon, very soon. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for listening. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, keep watching the turnout of this man and his terrible, terrible story, and goodbye.